Hey guys and gals, let's build the fighter plane chase by Lego Indiana Jones. This is set number 77012, and this has about 387 bricks, and it retails for $34.99. So far the part count does match the price, and this set was provided to me by the Lego group for early review. So here's the building guide. We got Indiana Jones right there. We have two other minifigures. I'll read them off the box here in a second. Let's just take a look at the manual. So that's how it's broken down into there. And yeah, we got the car or a Jeep, and we got the plane. So here are the minifigures right here. So here we have Indiana Jones, Professor Henry Jones Sr., and the fighter pilot. Okay, so that is done. So here we have bag one. Let's dive right on in. And yeah, so there's a couple things that I want to talk about today. Oh, I forgot to mention the stickers. That's what you get. And first thing is the tiny house is uploaded on YouTube, and I'm just now going to start with the building guide. I'm going to start with it. And that, a bunch of other tutorials that I've filmed, and I'm getting behind on editing them. Filming tutorials is easy. That's not the problem. It's editing the tutorials. Which leads to what Lego's been doing. Apparently, I guess there's been people leaking these sets out and already doing reviews on this stuff early. We're talking about, like, today is March 10th, 2023, and there's already stuff leaked out. These sets are not supposed to be released until April. And how are these guys getting a hold of these sets? I don't know. And Lego now is like, well, we can change the date. We can move the embargo date so you can do it earlier. And I'm like, and he's got a double-sided hit. And I'm like, I was planning these to be released later because I have my own tutorial. I can't keep pushing off my tutorials anymore and my mocks. And I'm just going to bluntly say, I'm known to be blunt on a lot of things. And if Lego can't keep track of their dates, why should I, you know? So, first I'm going to just make this clear. And I'm hoping Lego's watching this, by the way, because they do know about all this stuff, this channel and stuff like that. My reviews and my tutorials and my mocks will come first before product reviews. Flat out simple. You know, I'm sorry, but if you can't keep track of your dates and stuff, and you're going to allow people who leak the stuff out to have first priority, why do I care? You know, yes, some people think I complain too much, but really think about it, though. You know, and it's just, I know this is starting to turn like into a rant thing, but I'm like, man, I would get, if somebody did that at my job, they would be fired. You know, I would fire them, you know, leaking out a piece of source code or something. You know, I'm not a toy company by any means, but I would never allow that. And he's got a single-sided hit. But I figured, well, okay, I mean, I guess, you know, I guess Lego doesn't care. So I'm going to release these whenever I get them done. Because I have 3 days to get done with 3 sets. One of the sets has an enormous amount of parts. I don't want to spend all weekend, you know, filming tutorials. Or tutorials. Filming reviews. It's review after review after review, and it gets annoying. You know, I want to build my own stuff, you know. I'm not, hey guys, I'm going to build more stuff out of a book. And I have to follow the instructions exactly to review it. I don't want to do that. You know, I want to build stuff from my mind. You know, I'm an artist. I can't build something that somebody else has done. I have to build my own. And yes, we're stuck doing minifigure accessories for a very long time. Looks like it's just nothing but accessories in bag one. And yes, I know I complain a lot on here and stuff like that. I mean, what can you do? And there's a lot of people in the Ambassador Network that are kind of angry over all this. And I'm just like, I just thought to myself, Lego allows it. You know, we can't do nothing about it. It's a big business. It's like it's like at my business. I set the rules, right? I set the rules for the client. So the client software can be protected. I don't set the rules up to punish workers. But yeah, so there, he's done. Okay, now we got to do this road sign thing. We got to put a sticker on something already. So enough of that rant. All right, I did that through the minifigure parts. But I was like, oh, I got to get on my own builds first. So my tutorials and my mocks are going to come before reviews. I'm doing this right now because I'm still trying to clean off a hard drive and doing my own thing. All right, I was hoping this Berlin was printed to make a great road sign. Oh, and I've already made a habit of doing this already. I've been scanning a bunch of these sticker prints because I may be getting access, not only access, but I'm thinking about purchasing, haven't made up my mind yet, a silk screening machine. It only does flat stuff, but I'm thinking about buying one to do. And yes, that is rain you hear. It's called an atmospheric river. It has been raining hardcore for the last day. So they want me to put the sticker on after this, and I think I know why. So put the sign on first. Okay. And then you got to put this right here. What is this, a divided highway sign or something? I kind of wish that was printed on there and make a great road sign for a city. There we go. So, that's done right there. And if the rain offends anybody in watching the video, I'm sorry, guys and gals. This is a treat for us out here in the desert. As a matter of fact, there was a nasty rock slide. So, if they don't have it cleared out by Monday, which they said they most likely won't because of the weather, I will be working from home. And that doesn't bother me. Still got to get up early and do virtual meetings. And that's the one thing about the pandemic that taught us, especially a business. Now on, there's no excuses. Everybody now has a smartphone, or at least has one, or access to a computer. You know, you can join a meeting virtually. You know. Remember, Lego used to be so generous and give you like 2 of these. Now they only give you 1. And then the road sign goes back here. Now let's see if I can rotate that there. That's about as close as it's going to get. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, so now let's build a Jeep. And yeah, so I got to be careful not to rant in these too much, but sometimes it's like the big boys sometimes complain. What can you do? And so, for the tiny house, though, I haven't even dumped anything into stud yet. I am going to do that after I get done filming this and the review. Because I got to get these done by, actually, I think the 13th is when I got to get everything done and published on YouTube. I already have a set review. You probably already seen it by now on YouTube. And for that kind of thing. So I'm slowly going to get that tutorial put together. Yeah, yesterday was like, now it's, what's today, in the 60, 68, 70 degrees. It's warm, but it's raining. You always get that tropical rain out here. And it's nice, too. I don't know how some people hate the rain unless they constantly live in it, but out here, this is a treat. The only other time I hear water is when I turn on my water fountain or I turn on the sprinklers. Oh, out in my area, they still say we're in a drought. I don't know. It's been snowing. We've been getting snow flurries out here in the mountains. It's been like, the other day they said it was like 5 or 6 feet of snow. And I'm glad I was off that day because I got home early that day or something. I was home early. And why they race down a wet street is beyond me. But I got home just in time because I would have had to stay in a hotel because everything was getting like snowed in over here where I'm at. Well, not snowed in where I'm at, but where I couldn't get over the pass to get home. And that would have been not fun to cough out money for a hotel room. So now I keep tabs. It's like the way things are now. I just tell my employees, hey, if it's snowing or raining or whatever, don't risk it. It's not worth it. No job's worth it. You know, if you can work remotely, that's why we have it all set up now. You know, a lot of jobs, a lot of businesses after the whole thing got done, because out here they lifted all our pandemic restrictions. So now they got rid of all this stuff. Now people are back to the old grind of work. So just getting over the passes and stuff is kind of a mess. And yeah, let's make sure I'm putting that on there right way. I'm forgetting some plates here. Sorry, kind of zoned out there for a second, but you know, a lot of us now are back to the old grindstone and have to work and go into a physical workplace. And at my business, we kept everything. We have video conferencing still set up. Everything's there. It's not like they're live camera feeds or anything like that. But we should be able to host a meeting live in a matter of seconds. It should be flip a switch, you're live. Okay, and then that's it. And that's how everything should be. You know, the pandemic taught us a lot. Is if you can't make it in person, you can still make it virtually. So there's no excuses. All right. Okay, so that fits around. It looks like this is an 8-stud wide car. You know, Jeep. So yeah, I did review one of these sets already, and I wasn't sure of the price, and I had it listed in the thing. I may end up tacking, or just leave it as is. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. But the set was like $40 for 600 pieces. The build was really strong. And those are the type of sets that I'm looking for. Stuff that's robust. It's meant to be played with. It's meant to be roughhoused with. And it's really good. So something like this, if it is what it says on the box, I would say that this stuff could just be dropped in a city and you're ready to go. Well, Lego, looks like you're doing what I do. You're using these plates for the seats. Now if we can get them to make a 1x4x2 car door, or a 2x4x2, you could put the door right there next to the steering wheel. Well, we all know Lego won't do that. Kind of wish they would. Alrighty. Yeah, so far the pricing on these Indiana Jones sets pretty good. All right, for the sets that I put together so far. And oh, I got to show you guys these. You remember where I was talking about wheel wells for the double axles? There you go. Matter of fact, I want to try something real quick. Hold on. I want to see something here because these would be good for dualies. I want to see if this arch fits over this. And look at that. Indeed it does. So just imagine, you could even make a step side pickup of one of these too. Okay, I've been looking for these because it's you could use these obviously, but I don't know. just glad Lego now is finally bringing out parts that are useful for making vehicles and stuff. So just wanted to kind of share that with you there. That's like a new part. Well, it's new to me. I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me. And so today I'm going to be trying to review as much as I can, but I'm not going to feel overwhelmed over it. If they change the date because a bunch of leakers, you know, it's not going to bother me. If they changed it later, I would care less. Changing it to where I only have literally days to get all these done, matter of hours, I can't. I want to build my own stuff. I don't want to just wake up one morning and go, I got to build 10 Lego sets today. But no reviews, no. To start, and I'm going to be honest with you guys and gals, I'm about 99% almost declaring this as a job. Like, make this a full-time gig and just be like that. Because now it's starting to feel like a job, putting other people's creations together and doing a review on them. My own stuff is fun. I don't mind doing those. Okay, it goes like this. I thought that was some kind of a rear bumper, but no, that's not. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, rotate. I wasn't paying attention there, see? I'm just trying to get done with my own personal stuff first. And still haven't found... Oh, that's right, they rotate. That's why it was kind of funny. I was like, well, am I missing something? But no. I gotta wake up here. So far I can tell you right now, this is meant to be played with. This is not just a shelf queen by any means. So for $35, I think you're going to be in for a treat. I don't know fully because I haven't finished building it, but now we're using these for the Jeep. Well, it looks like a Jeep. I don't know what it is yet. I like these. These are something like it's these for like a race car, but the only thing too bad about these is if I wanted to make these into a dually, these would stick inside the bed of a pickup. Let's say the truck is 6 studs wide, there'd literally be no space. Maybe you could use it for a lowrider or something, but yeah. Nonetheless, though, at least it's a start. You know, I'm always excited to see new pieces nonetheless, because I like to see the Lego system palette be expanded. I can't speak for everyone else, but I just get kind of excited when there's a new part out. You know, it's like, what can I use this for? Sometimes you'll see a piece thinking, oh, I can use this for something cool. Have to wait to get the reviews done. As a matter of fact, though, I still got 2 more sets coming in the mail that I have to, well, once the mail, if the mail ever gets delivered out here, I'll pick those up. And yeah, matter of fact, there's a lot of people really excited about these sets, and to me, I'm not much into Indiana Jones. The movies are cool, but not into the memorabilia of it. And just to get these sets, it's just a lot of people get excited over a pre-built model is beyond me. It's probably the same reason why a lot of people are asking about the tiny house. Like, Jay, when are you going to have that released? That's the problem. I don't know when, but we're getting there. So it just really depends on how we're going to get all that done here. Okay, I see what we're going for here. We're They're going to use these by the seats. And I wish they'd make car doors that would fit around that, though. It'd be nice. I really wish they would. And then this goes right here. Well, this must be the dashboard. So now your minifigures can sit inside. Well, if they're going to do that, why wouldn't they just bump this out to about here? I don't know. Oh, we actually got to put stickers on those now. Well, when I'm done with the review, I'm going to rip that off. Matter of fact, they got... Let's make sure we're facing the right way. We got to put sticker 10 here. Oh, I would have been happy just to pretend that there's something on that. Now I'm actually going to have to put the sticker on that, I guess. There we go. I got one on there. I didn't mess up, too. Just make sure you note, like this one here is step 29. That's actually 9. So you're going to have to pay attention to which way these go on. And if you put them on wrong, it's not like you can take the tile and rotate it because it's buried behind this tile. You might be able just to pop it out, but yeah, it's going to be at the point one day where I won't be able to get to my own personal projects anymore. I'm just doing review after review after review. And it's not like I can just select what thing I want to build. It's not like I can just say, can I pick what I want to review? You don't get to pick. All right, you don't get to pick. You know, that's one of the bad things. Well, okay, that's not too bad. You know, I don't get to pick, oh, I want to do just this one Indiana Jones set, don't send the other two. No, when you select an offer or you accept an offer, you have to take, it's one big lot. It's you take the whole lot. You don't get to pick just one thing. Oh, wow, Lego, really? We're putting the steering wheel, the steering wheel's not even lined up with the seat. I got all excited thinking, oh, they finally had decided to do what a lot of us have been asking them to do. No, they just have the steering wheel sitting there. Well, am I doing something wrong here? No, I'm not. I got this as the dash. Still, I don't know why we're using these little dinky steering wheels after all these years. This is something like you'd see like in a little boat or something, not in an automobile. Okay, and so we obviously know that this is the front. And yeah, it's very rare you ever see bricks in a modern set, especially a 2x4. Yeah. All right. Okay, these tiles just sit right on top of the wheel wells, or the mud guards is what they call them. You gotta love these corner tiles, corner bricks, corner plates. They're always good for doing this type of thing. Alright. And yeah, oh, when I do the review, I will close the window. Not the review on here, but when I do the main channel review, I will have to close all that off so I don't get the background noise. That's more formal stuff. This is all meant to be informal here. And eventually I'm going to, when I do my full-blown reviews on this channel, they're going to be more informal, like what I'm doing now. So there'll be a short review and then there will be a long review. But Jay, why don't you film the rain while you're doing the review? Because people tell me that they don't like all the background noise in the videos. So there, I got to make sure everything is filtered, censored, cleaned. You know. Lego, it'd be nice if you made these in a tile form. Doesn't come in handy for actually making some nice style hoods instead of having the studs on the top. Okay. And well, I don't see a rotation thing here. I'm glad now I looked. So if Lego forgets the rotation, I guess I can too. All right, I hear the phone jingle jingle today, but guess what? Today is my day off, so I don't want to hear it. Unless I got my cell phone here and just send me a text. You know, some people I know are really addicted to their jobs. But I don't know why we use that angler plate in there for. It doesn't hinge or anything. Maybe it's just meant to, maybe it's for clearance in there. Okay, see how Lego just starts off right here with the things on here? Usually I rarely ever do that. I have an arrow pointing to one, but sometimes the arrows get confused. But I can interpret that. I've been doing that a lot more in my building guides. My building guides are meant to be a little bit more for advanced builders. They're not meant for, you know, for kids. That must be the spare tire cover on the back. So far I'm liking this Jeep. It's a little too wide, but those Jeeps are usually supposed to be narrow, but this one's not too bad at all. And then this one here, okay. You put this plate, make sure that, you know, this plate is perpendicular to the other two. Make sure these lights are on the bottom. Must be doing a little bit of a snot method here. I bet that goes right in there. Okay, I see how this is going to go. You're going to have to really be careful sticking that in there. It should just kind of line it like this, how it's supposed to be. And it should just snap in place. Well, obviously it's not coming out, so there we are. It just, I don't know, it just seems kind of screwy there, but it's in there. That's what it is. Not too bad. And then we got to go back to the front. So bag one does the two minifigures, or it does both Indiana Jones and Senior, and it does the Jeep, or the accessories in the Jeep. And that is pearl silver. I've seen these both in painted and in pearl silver. So I prefer the pearl silver. What Lego calls ink silver, I don't like it because it'll break down and rub off eventually, which I don't like. I like the pearl silver because the color runs all the way through. So if you scuff your brick, it won't matter. Okay, I see how they're doing this. So they use these as the little headlights. Like that. It's kind of like an older style Jeep. Okay. And yes, for those who wonder, that's how I get a lot of my vehicle ideas, is by building stuff like this. Yeah, but with all the channels already leaking these sets out, I noticed that none of them even cover the unboxings. They don't cover the parts. They don't cover the build progress. They just jump into the review and talk about their thoughts. You know, everybody has their own way of doing it. Also some big headlights for this, huh? Well, if you need to adjust them for the road, it's easy. Now we just got to do is put a little happy face down there and we're ready to go. And yes, I like to build while it's raining, especially with the window open. I know in the eastern part of the States, even up in Canada and other places like in England, the UK where it snows or rains, I'm sure they don't have their windows open like we do out here, but it's a tropical rain. Yeah, when it rains out here, it's warm. We don't get, it very seldom will we get a cold rain, but out here, it's pretty warm. Like I said, though, it's a treat. All right, and then we put the gun in here. Yes, we get guns. I mean, we've already seen enough of those running around. And an umbrella closes right up. And I don't know, I like these flat top trunk lids. They use a two-tone effect too, so it looks even better. It looks like it's a leather top on this. And that sits back here. I'm sure you can just pull that out pretty easily, so not too bad. And yeah, we got the suitcase. Now, these things will get brittle over time no matter what color they are. Once I close them, I just take my fingernail and kind of smooth this in here. I never open these up ever again. I've opened up a few and they just disintegrate. Doesn't matter what color they are. Okay. So there's an accessory there. In fact, let me see if I can get that handle to close. Bet that's supposed to snap together. It's not. That's good enough. It's got a little split, but. And they use this for the windshield. I wish they had one of those without the things on them, but that's pretty much how it is. We only got a few more parts left, too. That's the tires. You think they'd had some balloon tires on this, not automotive tires like you'd see like on a sports car, like a race car or something. No, they got these. Matter of fact, all right, let me pick that up because there's only 4 of them in there and I can't just leave that on the floor. They show it like this. You push it down this way, but I think that's meant to stay in like that. Let me take a look here. Let me take a look at the box because, yeah, see how the rims are protruding out? That's probably how that is, and that's how mine looks. Okay, it goes like that right in the middle. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Well, we got one tire on there. So you're going to... I was like, okay, well, these don't look like they're going to fit. Well, you're going to have to really muscle these in, too. You can see how I'm fighting to get these on there. There we go. Interesting, you got to do 4 of those, too. So the best thing is to start with the little indentations at the top and just slowly work it down in there. Until they get right in the center. Well, you could somewhat drive that with only 3 wheels. So if you had a flat tire, just balance your weight just right and you'll be fine. Oh yes, about the rain stuff. Try surfing in the rain. It's always fun. Especially when the water's real choppy too, but you got to be a really good swimmer. And that's it for bag 1. That's what we have remaining. We got an extra hat, a bunch of little stuff, an extra handgun. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, so bag 1 pretty much does all this stuff here. Now we can move it over here and we'll start with bag 2. And so far, I am pleased with the build. Now, I'm not a fan of the stickers, but it's relaxing, it's easy to follow. Just got to pay attention to the manual. So bag 2, I think does, let's take a look. Let's kind of give ourselves a refresher here. It's the body of the plane, like the chassis. So let's dive right on into that here, and we'll get started. Oh, we got to do the minifigure first. My bad. At least this one here shouldn't be too bad. I already found half the parts for them. Oh yes, there was also some controversy over this too. And it's kind of sad too. Everybody's saying, well, if Lego's bringing this out, why don't they bring out World War II sets? And I'm like, this has nothing to do with war. This is a movie. You know, I mean, a lot of us choose not to hear about World War II. We know it happened, and it's kind of sad with all that nonsense going around, especially today. But, you know, when I do Lego stuff, it's like a fantasy to get out of reality for a little bit, to kind of just sit down and unwind and just build things. You know, that's what I do. I vent, you know, I don't want to, oh, let's build some tanks. I mean, if you like building tanks, that's cool. I just can't get into them. And yes, I've been asked, you know, that's pretty cool. I've been asked to do a lot of the World War II mocks, and I'm like, I can't get into that. And he's done. Okay, I just can't get into those type of mocks. I just can't. And, you know, what's the difference between doing that in the Amityville Horror House? Well, the Amityville Horror House is just a residence. You notice I didn't include the ghosts or the spirits in there. Or that room that was under the stairs that was blood. I didn't include that in there. I mean, it's like the architecture of the house. I just built it. I mean, there's nothing really difference with it. It's just, I just can't get into the war stuff, you know. I just can't. It's just not me. I can't get into it. So, and yeah, I do have all the parts to build a tank and stuff, but yeah. All right. Yeah, so far this is not too terribly bad. But I think what I'm going to do is hopefully get this one done here, reviewed and stuff. I got one more to unbox. And if I can get that one unboxed either today or tonight, what I'll do is, well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyways. Start working on that tiny house tutorial. I mean, it's on YouTube right now. It's not public, but it's on YouTube. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit in front of the video and watch it and make sure it's buildable now. I've already proofed it, but I put it on YouTube. It's better to put it in what I call the field. Okay, and then build it just as you see it. Can I see all the pieces? Is everything easily to follow? If there's something wrong, I can go back in and re-edit and re-upload. Okay, I've always done that. It just makes the flow a lot easier, you know. So this is like a really old school plane here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm hoping to get that going after I get done with all this here. I'm hoping by the end of this weekend I should have a rough building guide done. Now, I always get requests, why don't I ever give out the stud files for my builds? Because some builds, like this plane for example, let's say I were to do this with that Jeep. It's not just one stud file, there's several stud files. You know, it just depends on the person building it and stuff. Like if I have several sub-steps, I build those in separate files. You know, it's easier to manage versus just having one big giant file and just, especially if you take a break or something, you'll get lost. I do everything in separate files and I just put the whole book together. That's how I do it anyways. You know, it makes it easier. It makes the editing process a lot better when I build the manual up for you. And the only thing I have to do is come back in, and if I have to, I'll renumber some steps and stuff like that. All right, so we need to start here. Matter of fact, I need these two pieces out of the set. So maybe I'm glad I'm doing this one now. And yes, Lego, you are correct. I will be parting this one out. I need the mock parts. Jay, but we gave you that for review. Yeah, well, it'll be parted out after I'm done. After I fill out my paperwork, then I will. Oh, and I haven't worked on the campground yet. This would be a perfect day to work on that, too. Obviously, here we have the stick to control the plane. Must be the cockpit here. No, that doesn't fit in there. Am I doing that right? Oh. Hold on. Am I missing something? So, yeah. Okay. I thought, okay, first off, you're going to need this here. Put this in here first. I was confused. This piece here goes in here with the two sticks. Okay, I was looking at that thinking, that doesn't fit in there. Now it fits in there. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah, so the campground, I'm kind of excited to get that going. Wait a minute. Okay, I messed up again here. Hold on, let me pop this out. Oh, and by the way, the set does not come with a brick separator, so you will be hosed if you do not have one. So you get those sets that have tons of brick separators. Keep those in a place that you know you're going to need them. Matter of fact, keep 20 brick separators by your workbench, because you never know, you may lose them too. I mean, sometimes I'll misplace brick separators just out of the blue, and I have to find more. Drill a hole through one, chain it to your workbench. I mean, literally, just put a chain, because those things will walk off too. Chain that sucker down. Well, we're putting a lot of details in this plane here. We got some gauges we got to put in. I'm hoping to line that up just right there. You got to put one of these on a headlight brick, and got to watch my arrows. I just got done with a building guide that did something similar to this, and it makes it a lot easier. It does. And that's the beauty of writing up your own building guides. You not only learn how to write up your own stuff, but you can preserve your ideas too. So that doesn't look too bad inside. I'm really happy. Also, that's what I look for the price too in these sets. How much detail is packed in one of these builds? Is it something really heavily detailed, or is it something just watered down? Well, obviously I didn't put that in there right. There we go. Yeah, these rainy days, it's kind of like lazy days. I really want to get into those mocks too. Oh, Jay, just throw in the towel, you know. No, Lego won't know. Yeah, but I'm not a quitter. I have to finish up my obligations. They send me the stuff for review. I have to review it, get it done, and then do my own thing. And I think I'm going to release the tiny house sometime in June, because I haven't started the other camper yet. This one's all ready to go. I just need to proof it, write up a building guide, and get it up on Patreon and for memberships. I think I'm not supposed to put them on both sides. I did. So I have a feeling that this is the same as this. Rotate it around, it's the same exact thing. Yep. Didn't miss nothing there. Rotate it again, you're back on this side. Lots of rotations. What's the age range on this set here? 8 plus. So yeah, this is designed for an 8-year-old. That means if you're an adult, you're going to have a hard time. We're over halfway done with the manual. Cool. What do you guys and gals do on rainy days? When I was younger, a lot younger, I would, like I said, I go surfing in the rain. Skateboarding wasn't too much fun. Surfing's always fun. We got to put a sticker on that too. Number 3. And these look more like road maps than anything else. Oh, it's camel. Yuck, I hate camouflage. There we go. But I used to do that when I was a lot younger than that. I had a tree house, like a clubhouse that I had built. It was always nice to hang out in there, listen to the radio, and have friends over and stuff. And we would just sit there and just, you know, kind of just chill out. Oh, they use that for the back of a seat. Boy, that's pretty clever there. That's pretty much what we did for days like this. My mom, she used to like walking in the rain. You know, going out and walking in the rain. Even I did there. And then you started working in the rain, like out in the fields or something like that. And it's like, well, I don't know. Or better yet, when it's raining like this, have a fire. Matter of fact, I mean, they'll have to do that is have a fire and do a build like this. Just film right by the fireplace, just so you can hear the fire and stuff. And yeah, I have a feeling this is going to get repeated. So far, I don't know about this plain chassis thing. I don't know, it just, of course, we're not done with it yet. I need more of these Lego. Where are they at? I need those. I need those for like campers and trailers and stuff. And I wish Lego would make one of these. It's kind of like half like that, or it's without this piece at the end like this. And then they would make another one like that so you can join them. So I can put 2 wheels side by side. So like, let's say you're building a trailer, those would work perfect for that. Or those round ones that were on the Jeep. All right. All right. So we're doing a lot of this here. I have a feeling it's probably like this on the other side. Yeah, but those guys who do these Lego set reviews really quick, I found out they have like a bunch of friends that help them build. Where if I had like 3 people helping me build, I literally could be getting all these reviews done in like one day. Filming the reviews are pretty easy. It's going through everything, and the daunting task of doing all this by hand, it just takes a lot of time. I think bag 2 is the one that had the most parts. Matter of fact, what I remember when we used to go camping, one time we camped when it was raining, and my God, it was miserable. Now, I like the rain, but when you're camping on vacation, that's probably the worst time to have it. This is when my parents had a tent trailer, and camping in those in the rain is not the most comfortable thing. It's not that it's cool or cold or whatever. God forbid if you touch the canvas, you'll get that water trail that kind of pierced through the canvas. Next thing you know, it's leaking everywhere, and the stick had to happen to fall in there. There we go. And my goodness, okay. And I always used to tell my parents, don't touch the canvas, it's going to leak. And you thought you were going to poke a hole in it. Like, oh, don't touch it, you're going to poke a hole in the canvas. And now it's just more like you touch it and water just comes in. when it rained, you just didn't touch anything. Okay, now we're using the rotation thing. Well, we already did all that. Let me just check my work and make sure everything's correct, and indeed it is. So that's that. And I do remember we used to have a tent trailer though, and that was fun. Then they started moving into trailers, and they finally got the big 40-footer fifth wheels. And you know, I'm not a fan of really fifth wheels, but it's nice to have a nice bathroom. You know. All right, so I'm assuming that we're making 2 of these. I'm going to go ahead and do them both now. Tent trailers are, you know, pretty cool though. They're pretty compact. I remember sometimes when my dad needed to go buy some wood, he didn't have a flat trailer, a flatbed trailer. He didn't have a pickup truck at the time. So he would take his tent trailer down to the hardware store and just strap on plywood on the top and bring it home. I thought, well, it worked, you know. This one's obviously going to be a mirror. And those kind of things are always fun, you know. It's how it is. Yeah, I've been trying to think of how I want to do live streams. Bring them back or something in one form or another. And then I believe these go here. And yeah, we did. I'm glad now I did that because we got to put stickers on this. We're back on this side here, and they want a sticker number 8. There we go. I got that on there pretty straight, huh? Maybe I'm paying attention today. And on the other side is sticker number 6. Jay, why do you bother putting the stickers on? You're going to rip them off because it's part of the review. I have to do the set in its entirety. I can't leave things off. So that's part of the review process too. If I leave the stickers off, unless the sticker sheet wasn't provided to me, you know, I just go on with the show. It's not too bad. There's like a V8 in there. Okay, and then I only got 2 stickers left. So the stickers are spaced pretty evenly in the set, so don't think you're going to have to rush and get all the stickers put in at one time. So it's not too terribly bad in this one here. So far I'm pleased with this set, especially for $35, and I'm getting a nice build out of it too. Remember what I said though, when I do the reviews, that's one of the things that I look at. Okay, where does the gear go? Oh, well, don't tell me that little gear is actually going to do the whole plane. I mean, how are you going to fly with that? Okay, this is for the front of the plane. That's not too bad. Oh, that matches with those? Really? I didn't even know that. Learned something new. Okay. Well, hey, I always learn something new all the time. There you go. And then this jumper plate goes here, and then this goes like this. And just be very careful. You want to make sure you place those in there correctly, because that's all surrounded. You got to take that apart. You'd have to get a brick server and back your way out of that. It would not be too fun. Yeah, but I do miss the family camping trips. I always wanted to do that with my kids, but it never happened. And that is it for bag 2, and so far it's pretty strong, so I'm pretty satisfied with it. And finally, we have bag 3. And yeah, this one here is not too terribly bad. There's not a lot of parts in this one, so we can run through it. I'm dropping stuff on my future campground. Oh no, the campground I'll probably never be able to get to. You know that old saying, you gotta finish up your work duties before you go on vacation. Well, that's the truth here. Gotta do the reviews first. They have it sitting upside down in here, but I would hold underneath if you're pushing those down. That's one thing I like about video tutorials sometimes versus a printed building guide, because a printed building guide's not going to tell you that, and everything is done by symbols. Yeah, it's just easier doing it like this. Watch where I put my fingers at. We don't want to be crunching things in. But for the most part, though, this is a very robust build. This is meant to be played with. This is not meant to do that. Oh, and these one-to-one things, guys and gals, I've been doing those in my manuals too, because some parts placements are very critical. So, no telling how critical this one is, but right there has to match that. So, I don't know how critical it is, but that's the best thing to do, is to pay attention to the orientation of those. I'm not sure what these do here. The pointed end goes at the bottom, not the top. Okay, not sure what that's for. Alrighty. Yeah, I still remember all the camping trips my parents would go on. Those were just a treat to do. Also looking into getting into this Big Brother program. You know, some kids, they don't have a father figure in their life, and you know, I'd be pretty much a kick-ass dad. And yeah, I got to learn to put the 4s and the 5s around mine now. Do that what they did here. And okay, and maybe taking a young one out on a camping trip or something, even if it's just for the day on a hiking trip. I don't know if kids today, I don't know if they like that stuff or not. When I was a kid, I'm trying to level that out there. That was always a treat. I thought that would fold in. Maybe it doesn't. And I looked into it for a while, and there's a few agencies that have just literally tons of rules. Like, I'm in a desert. There's not a whole lot to do. All right. And you can do this, but you can't take the kid out of the city jurisdiction. You can't do this or that. And you're like, there's not a whole lot to do around here. And I knew somebody who was in it, and they say it's a lot of work. Sometimes the child doesn't want to obey the adult figure, and when the child, you know, misbehaves, you take the car, you turn around, you take them back to the center, and then you pretty much pick up another kid. I'm like, oh. That's what he told me anyways. I don't know how much validity it is in that, but I was like, well. I got one side here that's sticking out too far, and then, I mean, this is kind of hard to get that in there, but that's it. and we are still not done yet. So I think bag 2 just does the plain body, and bag 3 does all the accessories that attach to the plane. That's what I'm gathering. And this thing doesn't really have wheels on it. Just that. All that work we did on this plane, as fancy as it is, it's pretty good to me, and we're just cheapening out at the end here. So let's build it and let's take a look. Okay, we got to focus our attention here, but I don't know. I mean, that's kind of funny. I don't know what we're going to use for the blades. I hate to think these are going to be used for blades. It's going to be, or this. Maybe these oar pieces, that would be okay. But I don't know. I've seen that with some builds too, like mock builds. You can tell that the guy put a lot of effort into a mock, and at the very end, I don't know if he was getting tired of working on it or what, you could just see kind of just half-bake some stuff. That's usually how I am when I get to the furniture. So now when I have a furniture idea in my mind that I want to build, I build it right away, and then that'll be the end of that. Alrighty, so this indeed is going to be used for the blades. And they're slightly turned too. So it looks like a little fan blade. Never thought about using oars for that. All right. And then this slips right in here. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, huh? It's pretty good. Yeah, but when I do stuff like this, if I was bored with this set, I want to hurry up and get it done. No, I want to build this. The plane look interesting. I've already done the other set before this one that I've done, and it was a pretty good build, so I wasn't dissatisfied with it. But this one here, this one's the smaller of the 3 Indiana Jones sets, and so far, this one here is by far my favorite. It doesn't have to be a very big, expensive set to enjoy it. Like this one here is just, this is just relaxing to put together and see some new building techniques. Here's the back, the rear tail wing of the plane. Kind of nicely smoothed off. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I still don't see why everybody's just chomping to bits for these sets. I might be missing something, I don't know, but well, okay, so we need this, and they want a sticker on that. And oh my goodness, that's going to be a pain in the rump, especially when I have to peel that off. So I got to put sticker number 1 on here, which is this big thing. Lego, you could have printed that. And getting that on there straight is going to be a turd. So I don't think it really matters which way it goes. So I'm just going to slowly just push this down on here and pray that I don't get any air bubbles in there. And I didn't even get it on there quite straight. You know what's so sad too? The set started off at a 10. I have to ding it down to a 9.5 because getting that on there where it was perfectly straight is going to be a pain. What made Lego possess to put a big sticker on it, I don't know. But, you know, and then all of a sudden you just stick this on here. I thought this hinged open. No, this just sits like this. I thought it would hinge open like that. No, it just snaps in there. So they spent a lot of time making the plane playable, and then all of a sudden it's like we went cheap on it. And yes, that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking at when I build these. Is, does it detract from the play value? Yes, because I don't want to have to pull things apart. I want to be able to open things up, move things around. The only thing you should be able to pull off is accessories to rearrange some stuff. And let's take a look here. If these are both the same plane wings, I am going to just... Okay, the plane wings are mirrored. This one here is the one I'm following from the book. This one here is going to be the reflection of it. So, and that will be it. So I'm taking the wings go in those ball sockets. Okay. Uh-oh, I'm starting to zone off there. Yeah, but that old camping in the tent trailer was something else. When I was really little, talking about single-digit age, my parents, all they had was a canvas tent. And talking about roughing it there. Oh, and I got to put those little lever things in here too. Now, I'm not even going to bother putting the studs in these. Why? Because I don't want to have to pick them up. It even tells you that right there. Don't. It's a hazard sign. Don't poke that at somebody's eye. Well, don't worry, Lego. We ain't going to do that at all. We're not even going to put studs in it. Because if those things launch off, I have to spend half the time picking it up. Either the Swiffer mop or the vacuum will get the parts. I don't know if these go in there. Let's see. Do these fit in there? What do you put in there? The studs? Maybe it's those black tiles. Yeah, I was looking at Twitch and, really thinking about getting back into streaming, and saw there's some guys on there that are older than I am doing it. And I kind of got out of live streaming. It was starting to get too much drama. Pretty much was what ran me off. Especially with, if you don't go live at a certain time or somebody joins the room too late, it's not fair. And I think the last time you get a death threat. That's somebody harming your life because you ended a stream 20 minutes early. That's kind of what did it for me, though. And then after that, it just wasn't the same ever again. I mean, doing it on Discord is another issue, but doing it on places like Twitch. And this was an ex-friend of mine that was... 2 ex-friends that were just threatening me because I ended the stream early. And that's when I thought, well, I don't know if I want to get back into that ever again. And just kind of never have. But this one ex-friend, she kind of instigated everything, and I just said, I don't have time with this anymore. Especially now today with my life being so full of uncertains. And I think we're done with that one. And I just don't have time to deal with the drama. You're going to have to really force that in. Okay, so it just sits like that. Okay, it's meant to be crooked. Check my work. But that's why I got out of it, because somebody had ruined it. I used to do live Lego, and it wasn't even, you know, guys and gals, it wasn't Lego related at all. It was because I wasn't streaming at a certain time. Like I've been live for like an hour or so, and this is right before the pandemic. And I mean, I was sick. I don't know if I had COVID or what, or just had the flu. And I said, guys, I can't go live anymore. I'm just too tired. I closed the stream off. The next thing I knew, my inbox was getting flooded in. How dare you cut the stream off? We wasted our time going in there, and I just thought, really? I'm tired. I don't feel well. And to hear that nonsense, and within like a week or two later, this guy goes live, which was another ex-friend of mine, and he was just starting in on, he was playing Sims. He made my character in Sims. He goes, he was just plotting on how he'd like to harm me, and I just thought, are you serious? And I told my ex-friend was in there, she was sitting there just laughing up a storm. I said, you know what? The more angry I got, I thought, I'm not going to deal with this. So I just kind of cooled down. We got a bunch of these. So did I forget put some of these somewhere? And after all that, I was going to go in the room and just talk to this guy. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? I'm kind of confused. And he had me insta-banned out of his room. I thought, okay. So I messaged my ex-friend. I told her, I said, I can no longer be friends with you. I said, you're just too much of a drama llama. I can't deal with you. And I did forget to put some parts in. And that was the end of that. And I just told her, I said, I don't have time to deal with this. I don't have time. Not now. I got to take this prop off. I made a mistake here. And I just I don't have time to deal with this. I said, you like to start fights and stuff. I just don't. Yeah. Especially now today, I just, running a business, taking care of parents. I just thought, I wouldn't be able to deal with it now. And sometimes you got to be careful who your friends are on the internet. Sometimes you're going to meet a lot of nice people, but there's some people you just don't know about, especially for somebody I knew for over 10 years. This other guy I knew for a few years. He was a Lego fan of mine too. And I thought, never again. Going live is always scary. You don't know who you're going to talk to, and you don't know who you're going to upset. So I just said, no, I'm too tired for that. So now I give a zero tolerance policy. Like if you start drama or I get whiff of it, I just ban instantly. And you get a bunch of these round 1x1 flat tiles to put in the stud launchers. They just fit on the top here, and that's it. And we got done with the sticker sheet. I'm launching parts all over the place because everything is just so tiny in this set. We'll get that later. So yeah, that's pretty much what ran me off from live streaming, and I don't care anymore to do it. So thank you to ex-friends. Caused a lot of problems. So if I ever get back into it, though, it'll just be Lego, no gaming. I don't know yet. Okay, so let's get into the rough review for this channel here. We're going to go through this real quick, and then I'm going to do the final. When I do the final review on this, I'm just going to go ahead and just talk about everything like I'm doing here. Matter of fact, I could just set this up on the turntable now, huh? But we're not going to do that. We've already seen enough angles of it. So we got the fighter plane. We have our figures. We got this random roadside thing that says to go to Berlin. Indiana Jones. We'll just set him in the car with his lasso. does sit in there. Well, kind of. And you're supposed to take the rope out of his hand, Jay. Or won't we just have it go straight up? For the most part, he does fit inside the Jeep. I think this might be his dad or his grandpa. I don't know. I have never seen the movie in quite so long. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the headgear on this guy will fall off. Let's just leave that off and put him in there first. I'm having a hard time seeing them down in there, but there they go. And then we'll put the hat back on. Looks like the hat from that one pilot in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. See, I can't even get the hat back on him. And yes, that does get graded. If I have to fight for parts, getting them on, yeah. Like, I can't even get that to stay on now. I don't know how I got it on in the first place. Let's hope it doesn't come off again. I'll just set him in there. So except for the headgear coming off the minifigures, it's not too bad of a build. This right here is kind of sloppy. We'll get to that later. Just want to see here. And the stick in the plane falls down, so we'll throw that in there. And does this close up all the way? Yeah. Okay. So, that having been said, that's pretty much about it. And it does seem playable here. Of course, the car, plane, you can just fly around. Seems pretty strong. And we got the sign here. That's the gist of the review. So, let's get into the review now, because, considering that's what it is. It is playable. Let's start with play value first, because it is built for play. Except for the minifigure stuff comes off. It's fine. We also got our accessory chest back here. And our little suitcase between these guys. The sign just, sits there. Plane's playable. I just wish the cockpit would open up. But for the most part, though, this seems pretty strong. Seems like nothing's going to fall off. So I think this is a highly playable model. So it's meant for play. Probably average play. Build experience is pretty relaxing. You have to watch the manual somewhat carefully. But other than that, the build experience is pretty good. It's a relaxing build. So if you like Indiana Jones, it's a relaxing build. Nothing wrong with it. Build quality is pretty good. The Jeep's pretty good here. This plane, yeah, it's okay. I mean, the cockpit and this rear tire, they could have done something better with that. But for the most part, it's pretty sturdy. Very structurally sound. So I'd say that the build quality on this is pretty good. A little above average. Lots of snot method into this. City value. Can you drop this in a city? Yes, you could. You can put this on one of your city streets. You could put this in your airport. If I put that in a museum or something, it would look even better. But yeah, the drop-in value is pretty good. As well as with the mock, you could probably combine this with your mock. So if you got a large Indiana Jones custom mock theme, you can put these right in there. They're just drop-ins. I like seeing a lot of drop-ins because I don't have to do anything. I can just drop them into a build. There's no modifications or anything like that. So overall, for the $35, it's not bad. So for $34.99 to be more precise, and that's in U.S. currency, you are getting about an hour's worth of build. As far as for family build, this can be built separately with these two things here. Okay, so bag 1 does this, bag 2 and 3 does the plane. And that's about as far as you can divide the build out. But for my final assessment of this build, it's nice. So for $35 for 387 bricks, fully playable model, Everything's pretty robustly built. It's durable. Yes, I would say that this is a winner. And very, whoa, for, very seldom you ever hear me ever say a review is pretty good. I did those Harry Potter sets, and they were just overpriced sets. This, I think this is averagely priced for what you're getting. It's very robust, especially for Indiana Jones. Yeah, Harry Potter's probably a bit more of a popular theme, but getting something like this, you could tell that the quality was in these builds. Yes, you're not going to get hosed on this build. So I'm going to say honestly, yeah. But tell me what you think. Do you think this set is worth $34.99 for what you're getting? Yes, for me, I want to hear your opinions, but for me personally, yeah, I think it is.